Is my screen visible to all of you?
Yeah, it's viewable, it's viewable.
Yeah. So, hello everyone. I welcome everyone and good morning and everyone to this webinar where we will share some secrets to become a successful planning engineer. Why planning engineer? Because if you see, as already I conveyed you, like this is the second and most important part of our whole civil cycle chain. Like in the cycle chain, we have ideation, which is very important to fill the gap and understand the need of the user. Second comes the planning department, like how you are planning to do achieve those ideation. Then is drafting, like how the process will be and how you will achieve those gaps in a particular matter of time with limited resources or let's say a lot of resources. And next the execution, like how you will build the thing into a like idea to reality, right? And the next and the last most thing would be like how are have you done it, like after math or let's say and results oriented and analysis of how it went. And that whole process takes a lot of time, but everything is under the hand of planning engineer. Why? Because he plans everything from the start to the bottom. And when he's like, if you, I think there are a lot of engineering professionals over here. They will share us very important. I mean, they're obvious. They will agree with us that there is always a scarcity and always a limitation of resources. So in that matter, the job role of a planning engineer is very, very important. That's why they sit in the offices and they plan hours and hours to make the project complete and ready within time. And a project ready within time is money. And company loves money. Not only company, you also love your first salary, you will also love your your first car, your first house. But the thing is the company obviously looks after cost and the cost has been saved by the planning engineer. Right. So, if anyone has any questions, I just want to add one thing. If anyone has any questions, just put down on the chat menu. We have our volunteers there. They will look after all your questions and queries. If something is not answerable, we also have our expertise panel. They will answer it within right away. Okay. Next is I will introduce myself. I am Prabhu Mukhopadhyay. I will be your host today. I am an engineering graduate from KIT University, and since I graduated, I have been working in Decathlon as a sports leader, and I have been coaching 5 pupils right now in my paragram, and also I aspire to join the like I'm only the one person in the East Zone to join the construction department of Decathlon, which is a very big department, and I will be taking up as the East Zone leader of the Decathlon construction because I had already experience in L&T as a like, metro training project and also in convenient consultancy with a wide knowledge in not only construction but execution and site planning. So, if I ask you what is planning engineer, everyone will just look after the first word at planning and then engineer. But what I want to mention and what I want to highlight here is like कि प्लानिंग सब लोग सब कुछ करता है लाइक सब लोग अपनी लाइफ में प्लानिंग करते हैं बट सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट होता है वो कितना इफेक्टिव हो रहा है इफ द प्लानिंग इज नॉट इफेक्टिव इट्स नॉट लाइक वर्थ इट why because if you see your documentation is ready like I will do my engineering by 2021 then I will start my career I will work till 2025 then I will do my masters then I will do this is a planning but is it a foolproof plan is it a like golden plan but is it a like worth it plan how would you measure it we measure it by results and that is why we will fill in the gap today the industry needs a planning engineer which is who is very confident about his NAT charts about his diagrams about his ideologies about executing the project at right time why I already mentioned time is valuable for the company as you can see in this COVID we are like a construction company has been a hit but do you really think like I think Amshuman will share like even the persons who are like in the planning department they are not on a hit but the site engineers are because they cannot visit to the site but the planning department works always continues this they are working from home they are working from their like places which they are comfortable still they are making an input to the company's revenue. That's why it's a very lucrative job and lucrative position to look after. And I hope everyone will take some time of their life to go through it.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah. So I will introduce the
Hello.
guest of the
Sorry,
lecture. Yeah.
Prabhu, just to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Hello. Am I audible?
Hi, Devashi.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, hi, Prabhu. I'm very really
It's your
sorry to
notion.
interrupt you. Just to make sure that whether every participant is able to see Prabhu's presentation. Are you guys able to see Prabhu's screen? If yes, then please write yes or Y in the chat boxes because many people are unable to see the screen.
Okay, 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 okay.
I think it will be. I think it's not a problem from Prohum side. Participants, please,
Yes,
pin
hello.
the presentation. Yeah. So we can continue. Yeah, sure, Prohum. And if you are unable to see the screen, just click on the small presentation icon and pin it. Pin it on your screen. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Devashi. Thank you. If anyone has any problem, we have monitors. They will help you out. Okay. So I will start again. And we have a person who has a knowledge not only in the industry but also has a knowledge on like all the sectors. Like if you say him like, sir, how can we go digitally? He will give you an answer. You can ask him like how is
Okay,
data science
Prabhu.
related to civil engineering? He will give you an answer. And he has like experience in every field, which is really helpful for graduates, not only like graduates but also professionals. And today we can see that any knowledge from anywhere can be very very useful. And this Sugam sir will, I think Sugam sir is here with us.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
hi
Prabhu.
Sugam sir, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Great. Good morning, sir. Sir, we are introducing you to the students and also the professionals. Just we will be very, we are very happy to have you on the board. And just if you can, like I already mentioned a lot of things about you. Can you just introduce yourself to the whole ecosystem? I will stop sharing my screen and sir.
Okay. So, a lot of you might know me from LinkedIn or from professional or from my student life. So, basically, hi, I'm Sugam Sharma. I have completed my NIPMA after my bachelor's in civil engineering because I wanted a management part of the civil industry because it is uh, civil industry in the bachelor's we are not, as Prabhu rightly said, we are not told much about it. We are only told about uh, site engineering, infrastructure. We are not told about interior fit out. We are not told about planning. We are not told about maybe inventory management. So that is why that was my main reason to do NICMA. Post that, I was placed in Gammon, like Anshuman. So I was in Gammon, and it was a good experience indeed as a as a assistant manager planning. And my last venture was with Oxford Cabs as a senior manager planning. And as of now, I'm running my own venture. So I get, and on part time, I also write blogs and do some community activity basically. So I guess that would be all
Yeah,
from my side. So shall I continue with my presentation, Prabhu?
Yeah, yeah. You can share your screen or else you want me to help you out.
Okay, I'll share my screen.
Yeah. Again, everyone, if you have any doubts, if you have any questions, obviously use the chat to communicate because we have a lot of people, have 72 people, and everyone starts speaking. It will be a classroom. So we don't want to be a classroom. We want to be a very interactive session, and obviously use the chat to yeah. Thank you, thank you.
So is my screen visible? I'm trying to do that. Is my screen visible, Prabhu?
Yes, yes, yes. Your screen is visible.
Okay. So some ground rules before we start. First of all, I would like everyone to please mute on their mic Whatever doubt you will have, just write it down on the chat window, as Prabham said. Our moderators will be taking it, or I'll be taking it mid-session. And if you want to ask doubt one to one, I am always reachable. And in the end of this session, we'll also continue with question answers round, right? So just a basic question. I mean, a lot of people are here from different background, maybe civil engineering, mechanical engineering. Some are 3 to 4 years experience. Some are doing their bachelor's as of now. So why do you want to join planning engineering? So I'll tell you why people intend to join planning engineering, because they see that planning engineer has a very lucrative lifestyle that compared to site engineer. Basically, he is the one who is sitting on the AC room in front of the computer. So basically, that is what you think a very good lifestyle compared to civil site engineer who works a lot. And so basically, a lot of people might have this motive behind them, that planning engineer have a good lifestyle, a fixed time hours, Sunday off, and all that stuff. And the second reason I would share with some facts. Some people think that planning engineer earns a lot compared to site engineer. So this is a uh, basic survey that was done from Glassdoor. Glassdoor is a very reputable site in terms of organization, reviews, basically salaries and all that. So site engineer salaries in Bangalore area were considered as 2.82 lakhs per annum, right? And all the site engineers there with me can relate to it. They might be getting 15, 20, 25, or if you are good enough, 30. I'm talking about the first 2 years of your life, first 2 or 3 years of your life. You'll be getting that much only, right? Whereas a planning engineer is getting 5.41 lakhs per annum. Can you just see the difference? It is almost double. And what makes a planning engineer so special? Because the the core work is basically done by a site engineer. I mean, he's the one who is building the site. He's the one who is talking to the laborers. He's the one who is staying sleepless day and night and doing his work, pouring concrete in hot sun. Still, planning engineer is paid a lot. I'll tell you why. Because you see the gloomy part of the planning engineer, right? But you don't know the kind of pressure a planning engineer goes through, right? He has to know each and everything of a site. A single site engineer only will focus on his section, or might be his area that is allotted to him. He'll be just focusing about his material requirement. He'll directly contact with the store. He'll when he needs concrete, he'll contact the batching plant, right? But a planning engineer is the one who ensures that no material is short by any manner. I mean, you should not whenever a site engineer calls the batching plant, and if batching plant is not having sufficient aggregate or maybe sand, then our day is lost. And you all can relate, whenever a day is lost in a construction industry, indirect cost increases, right? So this is the whole crux why planning engineer is so important. That is why in lot of companies, planning engineer is called the right hand of the project manager, because he's the one who is collecting all the data and all the important information and then passing it to the project management to act, right? So planning engineer is a very, very important link in a construction industry. I'll tell you one example of my life. Few days back, I talked to some gentleman. He was owning a big company, a very big company, running operations all across India. So they were into real estate. I went to them and was talking about this thing only, planning engineer, the necessity of planning engineer. And he asked me, okay, Sugam, why do I need a planning engineer? I said, what is this? I mean, why don't you need a planning engineer? First, tell me this. He said, why do I pay 50,000 or 60,000 or 70,000 to a person who is just making reports and who is just coordinating with everyone? I'll tell my site person to directly contact the store if he needs any material. I'll look after every finances and everything. I'll do that. See, this is the problem in our construction industry in India. Planning engineer in small scale industry, in small scale companies are not giving, are not getting so much focus. But in big companies like L&T, Gammon, you name it, right? Planning engineer is a very important link, because planning engineer is the one who link the site engineer to the management, a store manager to the management, a plant manager to the management. He's the direct link, right? So moving further, so if you fall into this criteria, basically, then you are good to go. If you are final year undergraduate, if you are site engineer who are looking for change to planning department, so Pravom has discussed with some of you guys, have brief introduction with some of you. So you, I guess, I don't remember the name. He is a civil engineer, site engineer from 2 years, and he want to get into this planning industry. This is a very good platform for you. You'll get to know the basics, right? Whenever you have an interview for planning engineer, at least you know the basics, because these things are not taught, not at all taught in your bachelor's, right? If I ask about Microsoft project, if I ask about planning, scheduling, monitoring, resource allocation, risk management, you won't be aware of that if you are only bachelor's, right? Freshers who are looking for jobs, some planning engineers who want to polish their skill in MSP. So there might be some planning engineers. Unfortunately, in some low companies or some local companies don't use Microsoft Project in their company because it is a costly software. So what they do is they use Excel as a platform to develop all their schedules. But if you want to get an advancement, get a step towards your goal into the planning industry, then you need to learn this software. And if you want to, get to the advanced version of this planning thing, you have to get to the Primavera. So it goes like this: Excel, MS Project, and Primavera, right? And there might be some people who are just MSP enthusiasts, right? We might be having people from contract department or some design department or something, because MSP is a thing in, it is not limited to construction industry. You won't believe it. I use it to plan a lot of things. Whenever I am planning a lot of things that are in sequence, I use this software. It is a very good software, right? Man-hour management, you can do each and everything into it. So this is what you came for, right? What are the secrets? So come on, tell me the secrets, how to be a successful planning engineer. So there is no secrets or anything that I'll tell you and you will be like, okay, I know the secrets, now I can be a successful planning engineer. No, it is not like that, right? You have to polish, you have to practice each and everything you have to do, and that too continuously, right? There are a lot of people from NICMAR who has studied MSP, but now they went to maybe site engineering, or might be contracts department, or might be design, interior fit outs. A lot of departments are there, or maybe valuation. So they are not familiar with the MSP, right? You have to be getting constant touch with any software you use. Forget about MSP. If you are using any software, you have to get in touch, you have to practice, you have to revise each and every concept of it to become proficient in it, right? And I was lucky that I was getting jobs from planning department, so I was able to implement it. The first thing, the first secret, if I may call, you should have a basic interest in engineering and construction. So basically, we are focusing this whole conversation for construction industry, but MSP can be used in any other industry. But our whole webinar, the main crux will be engineering and construction, right? So you should have a deep interest in engineering and construction. And why I say so? Because if you don't know, if you don't have the interest for the activities happening at site, how do you plan about it, right? This is very important thing. You should not start your career as a planning engineer, right? Me, I started my career as a planning engineer, so I know the downsides, right? I worked. I have to do. I have to put in little extra efforts, to get to this platform. If you are a site engineer, it will be more easier for you to understand planning. Otherwise, you can start as a planning engineer, but it will be a little bit difficult. You have to put in extra efforts, like I did. So I'll give you an example. So when I joined Gammon, I was a planning engineer. I was developing schedules. I was preparing weekly plans, monitoring it and everything, monthly plans. So after a couple of months, I noticed that whatever weekly plan I share with the site, they are not being followed. And why is that happening? Then I then I realized that some of the plan that I gave was not at all realistic to the site condition. I mean, you should know how much form work a labor can do in an hour or in a day, right? How much concreting can be done from a batching plant? How much square feet area of maybe tiling can be done, right? You should know basically about these basic things, right? You should know the sequence of activities. Otherwise, how will you decide which activity is after which activity? How will you decide that, right? So mine was a nuclear power plant project. I For the first 4 hours, I went to my system, my office. I worked there. I sent all the reports. And the second half, I I usually went to the site and tried to learn that, okay, I made a plan and this is specific for one day. So are we going to achieve it? And then I made some iterations to it, made some changes to it as per actual site condition. If you want to be a good planning engineer, you should know the actual site condition. This is
Hi Sugam sir, your audio is not clear. Just you unmute yourself. You're live. You're live. No, it's you're muted. I think you need to unmute yourself. Yes, you're muted. Just unmute yourself, sir.
so yeah. Am I
Yes,
audible?
yes. Yes, yes.
So I'm sorry. Till how much I went.
So you're explaining like how you made changes and how the after iterations you realize like site is more important. Like
Okay, the second part is covered, right? So we'll be
yes,
moving
yes.
to the third part. And please put it in chat window if there is any issue in my audio, in my video, or if my screen stops shared, right? So the third step, after you have some site experience, after you have some interest in planning department, what you will do is you will learn the softwares, learn the skill set. You don't directly learn the softwares, right? If you want to operate a JCB, you first have to learn about the basics of excavation, right? You can't directly run JCB, or might be tower crane, or might be anything, for example a roller. You have to know the basics of road if you want to know how does a roller operate, right? And we will be learning MSP so that you can implement all the planning part in a software, right? So PMI is a organization, a US based organization. They every year they offer a lot of certification, namely PMP certification, that is project management professional certification. So your ultimate goal after planning, after getting into planning department, coordination department, and monitoring department, will be a project manager, right? So this is a very important step towards that. You have to learn PMBOK. It is a book by from the PMI USA. So it consists of each and every details of each and every scheduling and each and everything, and it is available for free. Right? You should learn that. I mean, all the aspiring engineers, all the aspiring planning engineers should write it down. PMBOK latest version, you should download it. And if it is not, if you cannot find it, just WhatsApp me, I'll share it to you. Right? So this I have covered. You should have strong planning and organization skills. Basically, why I'm focusing on you as a person having strong planning and organization skill, right? Because if you are that person who is having a good planning skills, then only you can implement it on your project. I mean, if you're not disciplined, if you're not scheduled, if you're not punctual to the site, then how will you make your site supervisor to follow your schedule, right? You should be organized in your day-to-day life. Have good verbal and written communication skill. Some might ask, why do I need that? I know the software. I have good planning and organization skills. I have each and everything that is required to be a planning engineer. You'll be like, Sugam sir, I have done each and everything. I went to the site for 2 years. I studied PMP. I studied MSP. I have done each and everything. But now you're saying I should be more proficient for good verbal and written communication skills. Why is that so? Because you are the one who is directly connected with the client. You will be the one who will be facing the client, right? So you have to have this thing. These are the very basic thing that is required from your end. So my normal day in Gammon was like, I had to send ample amount of reports to NPCIL, that is Nuclear Power Corporation of India Limited, right? I had to send a lot of reports, daily progress report, weekly progress report, monthly progress report, and the next day plan. So I had to send 6 reports, right? Each and every day I have to, and some stock reports. What is the current stock? A lot of reports I have to, basically mail them. And then you have to get your bill pass. You might be having a billing engineer, but you are the one who is connecting your client to your office, your organization, basically. Right? Because in each and everything, your project manager will not be interfering, right? You are the one who should take this charge that, okay, I'll manage it. If intervention is required from project manager end, then only he will intrude. Be able to anticipate problems and provide effective solution. This is where risk management and contingency comes into picture, right? So you should be, I mean, if you have a party plan or something, you might be having some contingency plan in your mind, right? If you are going to buy some liquor or something, and if you don't have any money, you might be having a plan. I mean, you just kept money for buying the liquor and not additional money. But did you anticipate that you might be stopped by a traffic police van and he'll take half of your liquor money, right? So basically, you have to think about all the problems that you can face while you are doing something. Planning is a thing you can relate it to from your daily life. Whatever activities you are having into your daily lives, you can relate each and every planning aspect from it. So this is on the right side, you can see a triangle kind of a thing, right? It is the quality triangle. So there are 3 aspects to a quality triangle. First is cost, second is time, third is quality, right? So I'll tell you how it works. If you want to get your project completed in the required budget that you have already estimated, in the estimated budget you want to complete your project, right? And you want to get it completed as per the scheduled time, then you might be having might have to compromise on the quality of your project, right? If I am building a house, I have to, and the allocated budget is 1 lakh, suppose. I have to get it completed within 1 lakh, and the allocated time is 30 days. I have to get it done within that. So I might have to compromise on the quality, right? Same goes with if you are focusing more on quality and more on time management, then you might have to focus on compromise on cost. If you'll be like, if you are doing the interior of your home, suppose, right, and you are saying, give me the best quality you have, and I want it to be installed in the minimum time, then you have to pay the premium for it, right? Anything you say, I mean, you want a good furniture for your home or anything, right? So this is the quality triangle, and if you are able to manage all the three, then it is an ideal condition, which generally doesn't happen. And in our construction industry, that is happening in India. We are not able to focus in any of the three. We are not able to focus on the quality. We are not able to. I mean, the cost overrun is at all-time high. If a project is allocated a 500 crore project, it will easily go to 1,000 crores. And time, need I say more? If a project is scheduled to complete it at 2018, it will easily take 2022 or 23, right? So these are the basic three aspects of any project. And how do you plan it? What are the major function? The first function is planning. Second function is organizing. Third function is control. So I'll tell you. First, you have to plan whatever in a project, whatever target that you are going to achieve, right? Then you have to monitor it on a daily basis, on an hourly basis, or on a weekly basis, depend on the frequency of your project and how large the project is. And then you have to control it. I'll explain it with a real life example of mine. So when I did a project in Gammon, so my weekly target was usually up to 1,000 m³ of concreting, right? So daily it split at about 150 or 200 m³, right? Depending on the week, because some week it might be on the higher side and some depending on the shuttering and everything, right? So we had a daily target of like 200 m³, and in the first month, what I did was I made plan for a weekly basis, and whenever I went to distribute the second week plan, I used to check the first week plan, that how well we did. So I noticed that out of 1,000 m³ I gave on the very first week, we were only able to achieve 500 m³, right? And same happened for the second week. When I went for the meeting in third week, I noticed the same. The efficiency was below 50%, maybe 400 m³ or 500 m³. So the efficiency was very poor. What I was doing wrong, I'll tell you. I didn't monitor them perfectly. So when I distributed a weekly plan, I should have monitored them daily, which I did from the second month. What I did from the second month, when I shared the program of 1,000 m³ in a week, the first day I went to the site engineer. Okay, what was your problem? Today 200 m³ was supposed to be done, and you did 150 m³. What was the problem? So he'll be like, material was not there, labor was not there, or this, some things are not there. There might be some problem. That is why we were not able to achieve it, right? And then you will try to control that. The third part, you will try to mitigate that problem then and there, so that from the second day onwards, you can stick to the plan. And believe me, the efficiency increased to 70-80%. And it is a very good thing. I mean, the plan is always at a higher side. 70-80% is a very good thing. So what is Microsoft Project? Right? You know about the planning now. What basically is Microsoft Project? It is basically a software like your WhatsApp. What is WhatsApp? WhatsApp is just a messaging tool that is run by your internet. Earlier, we used to have SMS that was run by your cellular company, right? Now we have WhatsApp, which is run by your data. So MSP is a tool by which we can, automate the process, automate the scheduling process. And it has some very intuitive graphical representation as well. Some bar charts, some histograms, some pie charts. So these are the very, I mean, let me tell you, for all of them, all of you who are fresher to this field and who want to join it, presentation is a very important aspect that we all ignore. Whenever you, because you are the one who will be showing your progress to the project manager, or might be the project head, right? The whole might be VP, might be some very good designated person, right? So it should be visually appealing, because he don't have a time, all the time in the world to, you know, go through each and every data. Whenever he asks you that show me the real time progress, I'm on a visit for this site on a 2-day visit, just show me how much have you progressed in the last month. So how will you show that these are activities and this? I mean, he doesn't have all the time in the world. You will be showing it in Gantt chart. You will be showing it in histograms or bar chart, in which you will show last month the concreting was 500 m3, other was 1000 m3, and then it reduced. So a person will have an idea that it is increasing or decreasing, like a corona worldometer that you have right now. You might be able to relate it, because every day you are opening that site. Not now, because everything, I mean, corona is taken lightly nowadays, but in previous I guess 2 to 3 months prior to it, you might be sincerely following this corona worldometer or COVID-19 India. They have very good graphical representation, right? And this software is basically designed to assist your project manager in 4 different ways. The first is developing schedule, right? It is a basic schedule that you are developing, basic sequence of activities that you directly write down in your notepad. All these site engineers can relate to it, that what whenever they go to site, or whenever they start their day, they will write each and every activity. Okay, first I have to talk to my labor, that how many labor contractor, that how many labors are coming. Secondly, I will have to talk the patching plant. Today is my concreting day. So are they prepared? I'll have to check that. Third, is the material sufficient? Fourth, do I have all the proper NOCs from the client and everything to start concreting? Right? You make a plan. This is the same thing, developing schedule in a software. Second, monitor progress of the project. You will be monitoring the progress of your project by setting a baseline. I'll tell you about the baseline in further when we go further. How to set baseline. Baseline is I will just brief you about it. Baseline is a date that you want to know the progress, the exact day you want to know the progress of your project. It might be of past or might be of today, right? Resource allocation and managing inventory. This is the most important thing. I still believe in my, I mean, if you might be reading my articles or my blogs or anything, I'm very much focused about the inventory management part, because in construction industry, people are not at all focusing on that. And because of this, we are losing a lot of time, because we don't know about the lead time. That if I don't have steel from now onwards, how much time will it take for me to order, for processing the PO, and then how much time will it take to reach it to me? So at least for that minimum stock, that reorder level should be defined, that this minimum stock I should always keep. Just take an example of your mother, right? They have your, whenever they, I mean, she focuses on the kitchen inventory so efficiently. You never have to listen to this problem that atta is finished or sugar is finished or this or this or this or finished. She knows that I have a shop downstairs and I'll manage it. Forget about it. In Corona, when only one day or might be Sunday, the shops were opening, and that too on limited time, she managed it so well. All the vegetables, all the groceries that you were having, because she knows, okay, I had a 10 kilo atta. Whenever the atta will remain to only 1 kilo, I'll order the next one. This is the reorder level, The fourth one is analyzing workloads. So all the site engineers, all the engineers that are involved in a project might not be working at the same efficiency, right? That we have to define, that we have to monitor. How do you monitor it? By analyzing the workload of each and every resource. A person is also a resource, right? He is a human resource, and all the material are material resource, right? So this is a small activity, fun activity. Plan your family vacation, or you all are bachelors, I suppose. So plan your couple vacation, or might be all boys trip to Goa. What is the first thing you will do? Put it in chat windows. What is the first thing you will do whenever you are planning your family vacation to Goa? I'll just wait for 1 to 2 minutes. What are the basic thing you will consider? Right, first budget. Okay, that is great. Number of people going. Priyal, exactly. Lots of beer, right? Right. So you all are right. So, but first of all, you need to know how many people are going on trip. Okay, and this is the main reason your all the Goa trips are cancelled, because the people going on the trip cancel on the last minute, right? So who all will go on the trip? This is the first and very basic thing. So I'll be going. Might be I'll be going with Pravom. If this session turns out to be good, he'll sponsor my trip. Right?
Yes, yes, obviously. We'll plan it.
So basically, who will go on the trip in related to project in your construction project? So it is how many manpower do you need? How many construction equipments do you need? That is the whole crux of who will go on the trip. How many places and landmark to visit, right? You might be having a rough idea. I'll go to Baga Beach. I'll go to this beach. I'll go to T2's club. But you have to also keep in mind that time and money is also limited. Money is the important factor here. Otherwise, you will be going to casinos and throwing all of your money, right? So money is limited, your time is limited, and then you have to figure out how to do each and everything efficiently, right? In your project, what is the start date and end date? You have to finalize these all things, right? You might, if you are a working professional, you might have to take a week off, or might be 10 days off. If you are a student, then you might not be having some problem, but if you have your exams nearby, then you might not be able to go. So you first of all, you will be finalizing the start date and end date of your project, right? Total budget for the trip. So you should always have a budget for all the direct cost and indirect cost, right? What can anybody write in the chat window? What do you mean by indirect cost? Vishwanath, can you please go on mute? Yeah, okay. Getting caught, yeah. Overheads, emergency cost.
Akshay is too smart. I think he doesn't done with Akshay.
The overhead
It's
for something
relevant.
like safety, site infrastructure, site. Yes, exactly, Karthik. Right. So safety is not an indirect cost. Safety accidents, incidents might be an indirect cost, but safety as a total is a direct cost. We keep safety, and safety should be a very important cost aspect in your direct cost, right? Safety, your materials, your inventory, each and everything, your salaries, each and everything is direct cost. But what about indirect cost? When you have time overrun, when you exceed your time limit of your project, if it is supposed to be finished by today, okay, from the next day, it, all the salaries, all your office rent, all the machine rent, all the equipment cost will be indirect cost, right? All the electricity is indirect cost, right? And in respect with Goa trip, getting caught by a policeman, right? Maybe you want to go to some place and getting robbed, right? If you want to go to some mischievous place, right? Late night. So list out all the activities you want to do. That is similar to how many places landmark to visit. So it was about how many places landmark to visit is uh, basically listing out all the resources that you require, and listing out all the activities you want to do is sequencing it. First, I'll go to my hotel room. Then I'll take a bath and will directly go to the beach and have some beer. Right? This is listing out the activities. What will be a means of transportation? Right? So you have to take in project term. What will be your means of transportation? Is just basically how will you implement the whole project? How will you what construction equipments you will require, right? Seventh is accommodation. By accommodation, I mean your site office, your labor accommodation, your staff quarters, and this is a very important part as well, because you want to keep minimum distance between site and quarters. You want to keep minimum distance between site office and the actual site, right? Because some I have seen in many places the site office is at very corner end of the whole site, and you might be having you might be incurring the extra cost by the diesel that you require from construction equipment going from the site office to the site, or from or an engineer who is going every day to the actual site, right? So your fuel cost is increased. Risk assessment and contingency plan, this I have told you. all you have to all you have to do is access all the risk associated with it. From your Goa plan, all you can do is keep some extra money if your things are stolen, keep some extra money for challans and everything. That is risk assessment, how to prepare for it. Get some extra money, be very vigilant, right? Don't be indulge in any activities that are stupid or foolish, right? Don't keep your purse anywhere. That are the contingency plans, right? So I'll share you the live project, right? I'll share you two live project. I'll just explain what is the basic framework of any Microsoft MSP, right? So this is a metro line project. I'll be sharing, discussing two projects. One is metro project. Second will be a sample home project, residential project. So you might be able to relate to it, right? So just a framework. This is activity sheet. Can you all see? Just write Y if you can see. This is activity sheet, right? This is Gantt chart, right? Or you can call bar chart. So whenever you open your Microsoft project, these are the two things you are going to see. First one is activity sheet. Second one is Gantt chart, right? And can you see this two things? I mean, if I can show it here. So these two things, the gray lines running all from here down there, right? These two gray lines, it is reoccurring after some fixed intervals. Do you know what is this? This is basically your non-working day. This is Saturday and Sunday. So the major problem a lot of people faces when they know about MSP and everything, right? And whenever they start doing their project, I mean, I literally got a call from one of my friend day before yesterday, and he was like, "My project is scheduled to be finished in 3 years. I put 3 years in it, right? Calculating the number of days, it was around 1200 or something. So I put it in for 1200 days, but still my project starting from 2020 is finishing at 2025. How is that so? It should finish by, if I'm starting at 2021 January, it should finish by 24th January, right? I'll tell you, a lot of people do this mistake. You should always fix your calendar. Whenever you open Microsoft project, you should be setting the calendar. There are 3 steps to do that, and I'll tell you about it. So I'll just give you a brief about it, right? Not explain a lot about it because it will take a lot of time, right? So this is the calendar uh, that I have taken here. Copy of standard, right? Company has been given schedule. So my week start on Sunday. Default start time is 8. Default end time is 8. Hours per day 12. Hours per week 84. Days per month 30. Right? Because we work 30 days a month. We are not that privileged that we'll be working 26 days or Saturday Sunday off. Right? So you have to very much focus on this thing, this aspect. Right? Okay, the sheet. So this is a very big project. I mean, so that is why Gantt chart is very big. And this is another part you have to do after setting the calendar. This is a non-working time, right? You have to choose your calendar, copy of standard. Then you have to click OK, right? So see, this is your project now. So we have kept all the days as working. I'll show you this. See, default working days: Monday, Friday, Tuesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday, Thursday, right? We have kept 7 days a week, all working days. So that is why all the gray lines that you were able to see earlier are vanished, right? Can you notice that? And if you ask why these gray lines are there, these are some exception days that we mention. How do we mention an exception day? If it is like this is 15 August, this is a public holiday, right? So we have to mention that, right? Then in January as well, there might be 26 January. You have to give an off at that time, right? So I'm not sure. Okay, 26 January, it is not given, but it should be given, right? So this is a basic sample project. Okay, so I'll tell you in brief what we have to do basically. We have to write the activities here, right? I'll show you how do you write an activity. Okay, I'm just writing an activity test. Can everyone see? Okay, how much duration I want for that activity? Maybe I want 4 days, right? When is it starting? When do you want it to start? Okay. So how will I decide that how to start this activity? Can you see this? The activity prior to this is starting on 5th of July 2020, 5th of June, yeah, and it is finishing on 5th of June because the duration is 0 days, right? So if I've taken test as 4 days, and let me just put in for your convenience, I put it here 5 days, right? So you can see starting from 5, it is going till 9, right? The activity serial number is 793, and this activity serial number is 794. So what is a predecessor? A predecessor is an activity which is prior to it. So let me just assume that after commercial's operation date, my test activity will start after commercial operation date finishes, right? So what I'll do is I'll write here 793 because after completion of this activity, this activity will start. I'll just do that. See, this activity got finished in 9. This activity started on 10th, right? Okay, but what I want is These both activities should start on the same day. What I'll do now, I will write SS. What is SS? Start to start, right?
Hello, sir.
Yes,
Hello.
yes.
Yeah, sir, sorry to interrupt. Like many people are asking that they are not having MSP installed. So, like,
Okay.
can you just briefly give them an idea because they are unable to do that parallelly with you? Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, I'm sorry I'm not able to view the chats. So basically what we can do is there is a sample available in Microsoft project, Microsoft.com website. So this is a 1 month trial. You all can avail, right? So in 1 month, you all can learn how everything goes on, right? So is there any other doubt? I mean, you can access it for 1 month for free. And if you want to access it any further, you'll have to pay charges. It is a costly
Yeah.
software, right? Or
So
maybe,
we
yeah,
have a very good question from Devendra Tadial. Like, pardon me if I'm mispronouncing your name. Devendra is asking that if one company have one planning engineer, he
right,
planned and allocated the resources and cost for site construction. But
right.
after the resources are limited, but cost is going high. That means he is talking about the inflation in the market, and
Mhm.
it is not as same as when it was planned. So how the company will handle it?
Okay. So basically, Devinder, in each and every construction site, escalation clause is there, right? In each and every construction site. So if a construction project is tend to be finished in 5 years, maybe, so every year there is an escalation clause for maybe 8 or 9%. So every year you can increase that 9 or 8%, whatever is fixed by the client in the contract, and you have agreed upon it. You can increase it directly on your bill. That is an escalation clause that you can directly avail. If 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 I'm getting your question right, you are worried about the rise in the prices in the market, right? So that is being taken care of by the client itself. They are giving you good escalation. But if the project basically goes uh, above this whole thing, above the time limit, above the schedule, if schedule overruns happen, then there is a problem. Then you have to, escalation clause is not applied. You have to take extension of time. Yes, Divyansh, planning engineers also play a part in billing too. Yeah, Vishwanath, I'll just share my PPT. I was answering some questions. Yeah, Shubham. So basically, there is a calendar option in which you can just directly put it 24 hours a day. There is a calendar. I'll show you. I'll show you. Okay, I'll show you that. Good question. So everyone can see my screen, right? They, Dave, can you confirm?
Yeah. We can see it.
Okay. So in project menu, there is one thing called change working time, right? You have to click it. So there are a lot of calendars. Okay. These are only two calendars will be there. These are made by us. You can make a new calendar by creating new calendar. So I'll be creating a new calendar, and I am making a copy of 24 hours. See, you have a standard format, you have a night shift, you have 24 hours. So if you want to work 24 hours, you can just directly select this, that I'll be working 24 hours a day, right? So I suppose I am able to answer the query, right? So this is all about activities, all the linkage, predecessor, right? And you can, share the resources as well, allocate the resources as well. What is the resource name? Suppose resource name is cement. It is a commonly used term, right? It is a material. It is not a work, right? It is a material. You have designated an initial to it, right? Maximum unit. What is the maximum charge you want for a cement bag? What is the maximum charge? Means might be no. That is a maximum unit you want to allocate in cement. So I'll keep it as I don't know, right?
Yeah, hi Sugam sir. I think this whole planning, module will keep on going, and I see a lot of people getting impatient also, a lot of questions.
Okay.
I know everyone is, eager to learn something about a tool, about a software. There is always a curiosity in every engineer. No doubts, no doubts. But I want to share something with all of you. If you give me permission, Sugam sir, like if you want
So
to
I
continue, you can
just
just
give me,
continue it short.
just give me 5 minutes. I'll just finish it. I won't
Sure,
be
sure,
taking
sure.
much. Yeah, I
Then
won't
they
be.
will, yes, yes.
So I won't just. I just want to end it by saying, this software is very good for planning all the things in a construction project. You can allocate your resources, so you will be notified when and where your resources is used beyond the limit that is designated. So if you want to, you might be having a rough idea that in this activity 5 cement bag will be required, and if it goes above that, you will be directly notified that no, this there is some problem in that certain activity. 6 cement bag has been uh, implemented or has been used. What is the problem? Then you can try to find out why 6 bags were used. Because whenever you are creating a BOQ, you consider all the wastages. So if it goes above and over and above that, there might be some problem with it. That is what a planning engineer do basically. So yeah, over to you, Pravom. Thank you, everyone.
It was great meeting you, Subham sir, and it was really wonderful to know about a tool which can be so useful in planning. But what I want to, share with everyone is that this is a tool actually, so which makes you more, relevant, which makes you more like an important or integral part of the planning department, which highlights your like your career, like your individuality in a organization. Because if you know it properly, then you can obviously implement it anywhere and obviously get results from it. As already been shared by Sugam sir, that yes, planning is like a too precious job. That's why the salary is the double. A company doesn't pay someone for fun or something. He pays for a reason. And obviously, this is a place where you will know like yes, this I do this kind of job. This is so tedious. This is so pressurized, and that's why they gave me a handsome payment. And obviously, after you learn this kind of tools, you will be more confident. You will be more, what should I say? There's a word called like वो आगे बढ़ते चले जा रहा है, like the new thing and everywhere. So I want to like I really didn't want to stop Shugam sir because of the whole project. I was really getting interested, and as a civil engineer, I am always interested in planning. So the next thing, but there is a lot of people who are wanting to go like from the webinar because it's above 1 hour. I want to finish this whole webinar by just taking some points and discussing with you all and sharing my screen with you. If you're just visible, just tell me, okay? So, what's next? So, as promised to all of you, like yes, today we will know some secrets of a planning engineer, why they are hailed as like, why they are paid so much, what is the reason they are told so much. So why they are, like if you see in the COVID crisis, if there was an decrease in the job of, let's say, site engineer, they were not going to the site. A lot of people left the company. But as soon as there are COVID crisis, planning engineers were the most important persons were sort of. That's why Sugam sir mentioned there's always need to be a contingency plan. And you can avail all this when you have the knowledge of a project management to a project planning. And how can you do this both of the things, management and planning, through our like tools which are very helpful. You can also do it from Excel. You can also do it from other places. You can also do it in a pen and paper. But can you show that pen and paper work to a person, to a multiple persons? Can you send it the same thing to a lot of people? Is it presentable? So in that respect, this is a tool which is very time efficient, which will help you to get all the required needs, and also please all the investors, the project head, the I think stakeholders, everyone will be very happy with your presentation, happy with your skills, happy with your all planning allocations and resources management. So this is the main thing I want to share with you. And why I want to share this very important point, that we kept our promise. We kept our promise of sharing the secrets. We also kept our promise by taking the most experienced person from the industry, who started from planning engineer. Can you believe someone like we used to sit for interviews for planning department, and the person got placed in planning department the first go, and he can relate. Like if you start from planning department, these are the obstacles, these are the things. But trust me, brother, trust me, everyone, brother and sister, everyone. Like there is no obstacle such now. These are all like hurdles, and everyone can overcome a hurdle. So we shared you the secrets. Now it's your time, So how you can start all these things. So we start, like Dayani is a company which has been I can show you. We are a company which has already been established in a lot of regions. Like a lot of people start from one region, but we are already established in a lot of regions. We have started giving up projects on a lot of things, and we are also helping people to like engineers to develop their skills on a lot of areas. We as a building engineers, we understand the need. We understand the need of knowing the live projects, as Sugam sir said, and also Anshuman, and also a lot of people, Devyans, I think Harsh, they related that yes, whatever we are taught in the course in college, in university, it's not enough for the field. Why? Because everything is another dimension. You might know the terminologies, but if you have a hand-on, practical experience, it will be just phenomenal. You cannot, imagine your growth. You cannot imagine like how fast you're moving in a company. You have a practical experience. Why does a person having 5, 6 years of experience has so much salary? Because he knows a lot of verticals. He knows a lot of things, and he has also experience in live projects. He has the capability and capacity to do a project properly. As I was watching a trailer and of some movie, and I remember one thing I want to share with everyone, if everyone permits, like why the edge of Mount Everest is thin, because the errors and mistakes are not been done when you reach the top of the Mount Everest, and that's you can achieve when you know a lot of things like live projects. So these are all our team, and we have like 2 national awards in our bag. Why? Because yes, our team is phenomenal. We have 10 clients, we have 10 ongoing projects. You can obviously chip into our project. This is our wholesome team. There's a starting from Sayan, Devarshi, Auritro, Tanmay, Devdotto, Devjani, Shagnik, Audijit, Devditto, everyone is here. You can learn about Dhyan. I will share everything. And what we are presenting to you is like, if you want to, we shared the secrets of planning engineering. But is it really the secrets which makes it? But also the tools. If you want to learn and polish the tools, everything, we have a plan for you. You can go on a 10 days workshop, which is 10 days. I think if you start watching a season of any, I think let's say TV series, any season, it hardly takes you like engineers complete it by 2 to 3 days. But obviously, if you take time and watch it, it obviously take 10, 12, 15 days. So we start with a basic about project planning. We will not teach you about the tool, but we will also teach you about what is the need. It's just a tool, or it's also the project planning management, because we are doing here planning management. We are just using the tool to help us, deliver good reports, we know the visual implications. We know how we are using those kind of resources in a particular field, and also resources allocation and scheduling. Why is it important? Because if you are aware of your resources and if you schedule them properly, you will know the whole, like how is your time, what is your cost, and if you save cost for a company, you are a gem. Let me tell you very importantly. I saved 13 lakhs rupees for Decathlon, and today I am a valuable member of Decathlon. I think a lot of people doesn't know Decathlon. Decathlon is a sports retail company, and I am in the planning department too in the Decathlon. And obviously, I saved a lot of money for it. And obviously, I have valued what I was valued in the, like when I joined here. So why? How can you be very resourceful? By using the task sheet and Nature to make sample project. Why, as I already conveyed, that if you have an experience, what is experience? Like you are dealing with live projects. So I think everyone knows, like when we are like taught in the first year, engineers can solve anything. As an engineer, you can do it better. But yes, doing better, doing everything in a good way is very, very important. And a live projects give you not only confidence but also gives you an boost to your career. So we will teach you how to like we and Sugam sir, everyone is there to teach you how to use a Nature, how to make a sample project, how to present it to all the stakeholders. Like stakeholders not from the project leader but also the site engineer to patching plan to resources manager, everyone will be like, no, I am waiting for this guy. This guy has a proper plan. This guy knows what he's doing, and we will listen to him. This is how you make yourself important in front of everyone. Next is resource allocation, like how you are allocating through MSc. Because if you, as already shared by Sugam sir, the stakeholders doesn't have all the time in the world to listen to you. You need to be precise. You need to be very to the point, and obviously they love charts. Like why don't we love charts? We like visual like representation, and that is the one thing we can do very easily through MSc with regards to planning management, right? Next, we go through the content of the workshop, what we are going to learn in those 10 days. It's a 10 days. It will be like passed by and like within a very short span of time, and you will learn a lot of things which will boost your confidence. I am very, very like sure about it. I have like experience in Excel, but I had really small experience. But once I did MSc, I am a gem to the company. And I'm telling you from my personal experience, I'm like, it really helped me in every sector. So what we are going to like share with you all is like how to be a planning like gem, how to be a good planning resource, because you are also a resource to the company. Right. So how you are good at planning, you will also be counted on that. At the end of the year, you will have your appraisal meeting. Trust me, in the appraisal meeting, if you show like, yes, I have done this or this, and I have saved this much cost, I have saved this kind of time, which gives the company an edge over other companies, you are a gem. You will obviously be highlighted in your appraisal. Let me tell you a very clear story of appraisal. The minimum appraisal of a civil engineering is 6%, and it's lower than in other sectors. But in a planning department, it's higher than 8%, the appraisal. If you go to Glassdoor, you can obviously see where the appraisal meets are there. 8% to 20%. If you're exceptional, it's 25%. Do you realize that if you are earning 5 lakhs per annum, and then you are having 25% growth at the year end, how much boost you are getting to your whole salary structure? Yes, right. So we teach you basic terminologies, which will be very important, because if you are, I hope, like more than the stakeholders, you are also interacting with your like higher persons, like higher hierarchical persons or managers. You need to be very efficient with your terminologies, because you will also don't have the time to talk about basic things and clear and then talk to him. You will be very efficient, very fast. The whole process will take very fast. Why? Obviously, I convey like basic of project planning, because it will help you boost your like knowledge. It will polish your skills on MSc, and obviously you will have an experience in live project. We are having 14 projects right now with us. You can always chip in with us and like share your ideas. And we are, if you see someone is saving cost for us, we will give them recommendation. Seriously, everyone will give them recommendation that yes, this guy has done this kind of saving, and we will not like take our step back from this commitment. Resource allocation and scheduling theory. MSc is software framework, like as Sugam sir said, like there are a lot of frameworks in the MSc, and you need to learn all this. Because if you learn all this, as Sugam sir was explaining to all of you, you can explain to a lot of people. You can develop a lot of people, or you can excel in your own field using task sheet and Nature to make sample project and resource allocation and developing reports. This is the crux of everything. The report. This is the crux of your appraisal. This is the crux of your salary, and this is the crux of your whole like professional career. Like how good are you in representation? How good are you in presentation, and how good are your reports? How is it this is impacting your whole ecosystem? So we have like what you like gain from this workshop. Like these are the like, you will know about planning, project planning. You will know about very basics, and obviously you will get widely to experience. Like yes, like this is what I was talking to you about, like sample project and everything. You will be handed over. If you want that, no, I will do this my way. Because a lot of people are coming from as bachelors. They engineers think that they can do something better. We understand that, and why we understand that, because we also know if we do something we will do it better. If we are teaching you like how to do a good planning engineer, we know that we have already done that, and we can teach you like what were the mistakes we had taken and what we can learn from it and what we can share with you. You can also share your ideas, your project presentations with us. If you think that yes, this is very important for our project, you can obviously chip in. So these are very interesting basic jargons of planning department will be understood. Why? Because in a planning, not only in any ecosystem or any company, there are a lot of jargons. What we mean by jargons? Jargons are something which are directed towards a particular group. Why? Because you see, if you work in a company, they have breaks. Let me give you an example of how IT company works. I have a lot of friends in IT. In IT, they do a shift of 14 hours, 15 hours. But really, does they do 14 hours, 15 hours shift? No. They just do 8 hours, 7 hours shift. And the rest of the 5-6 hours, they go for chai break, sutta break, they go for date, they go for here and there, and they're a lot of places. They go for like outing, they go for flat searching, they have a lot of things to do. And those jargons like I'm going for work, I'm going for client visiting, I'm going for this and that. These are things which take time. But in Decathlon, in Dayan, and where I worked in L&T, they value time because time is money. And in the ecosystem of the company, a lot of people use these jargons. This will also help you, to just as Sugam sir said, like when I went to meet the site engineer, he told me that this is not available, that is not available, this resource is not available, this is not proper. So you will know like these are the things which he is not telling the truth. He's not he's hiding something. He hasn't done something. This all needs to be addressed, because then only your idea, your planning will be fruitful when you address all the points. Clear? So everything will be done. So if you go to like any place, like if you go for an online or software course or any, they will only teach you the software, by the way. I'm not telling you the planning department. They will give you an overview of what is planning, but they will only teach you the software. So if you go to MSP software course online, it will cost you near about 15,000, and the software itself costs more than a lot of dollars, right? So basic of the project planning will cost you 5,000, and if you go for offline course, it will cost you 15,000. If you go for an online course, then it will cost you 10,000. And obviously, live project and training, it's hard to get. Trust me, it's hard to get to put your hands on live project. So it will another cost you 10,000 rupees. If you even get it, it's an exception. Like if you even get it, then you will get another 10,000. So and roughly you will spend 25,000 rupees on all of this like project planning, and then only you can get an impact on this. But what Dayan offers you, we offer you the whole course because we have Sugam sir, we have our department and everyone. We offer you the whole price in only 1499 rupees. 1499 rupees. Why this 1499? Because there's a cost of everything, and we have like Sugam sir, who is giving her valuable time, resources, and also sharing all his experiences. And also we have our whole infrastructure of Dayan being used, and that is the minimum thing we are using. That's why we are taking you just for 1499. We are very like student oriented and also professional oriented, because we think like any cost we take, it should be like justifiable, because If you see, if we charge you like 15,000, 20,000, I know I can show you a lot of things. These are like GST, this, that, and all. But really, that isn't so. It doesn't. This is the only cost we are having, and this is the only thing we are charging you. We want engineers to grow. We want everyone to be very, very important in this sector. Even if we can uplift 1 to 2% in their career, we try to uplift everyone. But I hope everyone will give the same time and resources to it. These are the registration details QR code. You can obviously go for the registration. Anyone interested will share the slides and everything. And I represent you. Like, I just want to share one thing with you, like my personal experience. I want to share my personal experience with you. Like, I started as a very, very small job role when I was in second year of my college. But slowly, I moved to like planning. I moved to a lot of departments. I moved to sales. I moved to site engineering. I moved to project management. Then I took up a job which was very important for me in L&T, and then I left L&T and joined Decathlon because I believe if I talk with my actions, it's very important, and it's time for you to take actions. I think I spoke too much, and I'm very sorry for it. And I hope to see you everyone in the workshop. And anyone having any question or doubts, I will leave it to Shubham sir, and Sugam sir will take up charge now. I think anyone want to have discussion with us, they can always reach us to our WhatsApp. We have already made a WhatsApp group. I have shared my personal number to you. We have our website there. You can obviously come and ask any type of questions, right? Okay.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Prohom, and thank you very much, Shugam sir, for sharing those informations. And I see many people are asking very typical MSP oriented questions. So basically, like if you are ready to get the answers, you want to understand the in a very deep level, I'll recommend that you guys do join this 10 days workshop. It's very cheap, and we have kept it that at that price because like sir discussed with us, we should do it for a very lower price because there are so many students in this webinar who are very enthusiastic about the project planning and whole thing, but due to the very high market charge, they don't generally, afford, they are unable to afford this price range. That's why we kept the charge as low as it was possible for us. And like if you guys have further questions, you can ask it right in the group. You also have our mail IDs. You can mail us at info or support@deyan.in. I'll type it right away in the chat box. So you can directly ask any questions directly to this mail ID, or you can also drop a question to the WhatsApp group as well. So yeah, that was it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having patience and having us in this workshop. And also one more interesting announcement that if anyone wishes to get a verified certificate for this webinar only, they can have it by making a payment of 99 rupees. That link was also shared with the WhatsApp group. It will obviously be again mailed to you. Yeah, thank you everyone. Thank you for joining.
Thank you everyone for your time. Have a good day. Thank you. Thank you.
So with your permission, I'm ending this meeting, Promo.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you everyone.